really like your guys' game. I think it it creates an atmosphere extremely well. I forget the exact stats, but a shocking amount of fear just has to do with sound and it has to do with lighting. And you guys handled your sound and your lighting incredibly well. While watching your video, on my own time when the sound was going, I knew there probably wasn't going to be a jump scare, but I was like also anticipating a jump scare at any moment. And that is like, I feel like exactly what you want in an amnesia type game. And you guys also did the highlighting for things that are interactable. Very much appreciate that. That very much kind of guides the player. Even though you don't have the text to do it maybe, it still gives the player a direction to go. Because without that, you might not know you could open those drawers and find a key and everything. So yeah, I thought this was a really cool game.
This game was so scary. I don't play Amnesia for a reason because it's too scary. And I was like, oh my god, they made an Amnesia game, this is awful. And like, it's like one of those, like I died to the whatever killed me, and I had no idea what killed me, and that made it even more scary because I was like, I don't know what killed me, and I died, and I have to be like more vigilant when I go through here again and figure out what's going on. So like good mystery to it, like really excellent like lighting and sound design in general. Yeah, like Danny said, the highlighting of things so I know what I can interact with are great. The fact that you guys, this is a procedurally generated system is actually like super impressive. I've worked on teams where we tried to do some of that stuff before, and we'll get engineers who are just like, hell no, I don't want to touch that stuff. It can get really, really complicated and really, really messy fast. So that's really impressive. Great job.
Yeah, +1 to the impressiveness of the randomly generated level design, and like Dan was saying, like sound is so key to that atmosphere, and y'all nailed it. And I also thought it was great that in that first room, like you're exploring and you're learning about hiding in a locker, and my like lizard brain was immediately like, I'm gonna need this later. And so once I started hearing that like cacophony of like sounds coming at me, like I just ran to the nearest locker, and that was great. It was very intuitive. Even getting a little bit lost felt good, and so it did build like a good ritual and habit of like, okay, get to the next room, check all the drawers, check everything to survive, go to the next one. But the one thing that I stuck on was a little bit of like, you only need one key, but I kept finding so many keys. And that threw me so far for a loop. I was like, why do I need these keys? Why am I going to need to open up all these doors? And then that on top of, I think, at least in my experience, the randomly generated levels produced on my run almost like an infant. Like I didn't ever find that. It took me 5+ minutes, and that could have been user error too. But if that was the case, I would just maybe put like a cap on how long it could possibly generate. And then yeah, like focusing on the keys, like that, giving the player a clear feeling of progression of what they need to do would be something I would focus on next.
Yeah, so we want to reiterate, the atmosphere was so well done for this. Like it all just really hammered in the feeling. The elevator thing is interesting. I had a weird experience playing it. I tried playing remote desktop, but because it was mouse input, like, so I used a MacBook. So then I finally went and got on my desktop and like replayed it. So I vaguely remember the elevator thing, but I think on a respawn you just drop in, which gives it such a different vibe. Oh, right, like you're not choosing this, I'm thrown in, right, is the feel I got. So it was interesting to hear you say that. But yeah, having worked for procedural systems myself, like it's so powerful because you could add another room type, right, and suddenly your game has infinite more possibilities. And I never quite grasped how the monster worked. I would just hear the noise and try to run in and die. I didn't figure that I didn't solve the game as much as the rest of the judges, but I still had a great time with it. And I like being able to hearing you talk about it. I like seeing how a new monster type could again fully shake up your experience. And just you can see a lot of what this game can be if you have more time to work on it. Thank you, judges.